We're fragile, experiencing life, feeling underwater, but we're all in this experience together. Welcome to Sufani's World in association with Place of Bliss Academy. As we're going through things in life, it is so important for us to do things that make us feel good about ourselves. In this video, you're going to see my little ritual of putting on a vintage head wrap and making a little victory roll in the front. But what you're really seeing is a ritual that makes me feel happy and makes me feel good. And when I look in the mirror, I like what I see. Some people look at these little rituals and they just think they're mundane and there's nothing special about them, but I beg to differ, because the way I see it is when I do these little rituals for myself and it makes me feel good about what looks back at me in the mirror, then I am actually doing something that is in the category of self-love. It's a big misnomer that people sometimes think that we dress and we primp and we preen and we do all of these things, do our hair and our makeup, that we do these for what other people see, to try and impress other people. But in my experience, it's always been about the way I feel about myself, and it's also an expression of myself. I do things that make me feel happy and that are creative. Now, I know you looked at what I just did and you thought it looked really easy, but just remember, it took me a lot of tutorials and years to really figure out how to do this stuff. Part of doing these little rituals also is learning about yourself, learning about the patience that you have when you're being too hard on yourself because you're learning something new and it's difficult and you have to have endurance. So all of these little rituals, although they may seem mundane, they're actually not, because they're teaching us a lot about ourselves. Now, the tip I'm going to give you here is that when you're putting this on the way you saw me do and I'm holding it, I'm using clips to pin it next to my ear so that when I tie it, it stays in place. And see, I tucked it under and I'm twisting a knot. Now, be sure when you do that not to pull it too tight, because you can pull it out of place by the ears. Now, a lot of times I do these on the weekends because it prevents me from having to curl my hair, and I think it's just as important to give yourself little breaks in your routines as well. So whatever rituals you do, make sure you're having fun, make sure you like what you see in the mirror, and love yourself. Bye now.